Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval. Today we'll be finishing up the French battleship line, going over the last French battleship named France. I have the sister ship and I have renamed her Verdun, but she is actually one of the most powerful top tier battleships, and for good reason. But before that, I came across something on Facebook today that you might want to take a look at, so let's switch over to that. All right, so here was an earlier Facebook post I saw. It shows the new British cruiser Tiger coming out, and you can't see any new stats right now, but you can kind of see the general stats off to the side here. She looks very interesting to say the least. It looks like she has smoke, a repair, and a heal. Nothing about anything specific. No torpedoes, no nothing. But if what caught my eye is if you look at the left side, you have Soviet Union, you have Kaliningrad, then you have Stalingrad, and then you have Project 66, which is the newest rank point ship. So there are two separate ships, and there's no news at all about Stalingrad at all. So maybe that is a new Prism or a Diamond ship that's coming out. I'd really like it to, because I've actually really want this ship. So, more news on that maybe in the future. Like I said, this is not my account. All I have is the information that was on the Facebook post, which you are free to look at yourself as well. But it's interesting to see that Stalingrad, there's no news about it, but it may be coming out. So, if there's any more news, I will obviously let you know. But until then, this is what we have right now. Alright, going back to the game, let's go over France. So we have 96,100 health, which is pretty good. 38% torpedo resistance, which is not terrible. Not the best either. You're not going to ever beat Yamato at 50% torpedo resistance, but 38 is not terrible either. Up to 450 millimeters of armor, so 17.5 inches, and a belt of 380, so about 15 inches on the belt, max on the turret faces, and the barbettes it looks like. Your armor's not terrible. This does not mean that you're invincible. Obviously, you can still be citadel. You have a very flat broadside, which is quite easy to citadel if you get the right angle. But if you decide you like the bow tanking kind of gameplay, you will survive quite long at doing that. Your guns are 450 millimeters, or about 17.5 inches. Good rate of fire. The shell velocity is the I want to say it's the second fastest in the game. Only against Soviet Union is it any slower, maybe? It's actually listed as the fastest initial velocity, but Soviet Union shells actually get to the target faster at most ranges. That being said, that does not mean that France's shells are any much slower. It was only a difference of what, 6 miles or meters per second initial velocity. So really fast shells. And like I said, they are 17.5 inch versus Soyuz is 16 inch, so they have a bigger punch as well. Let me see the damages. Yeah, 15 and a half thousand damage for AP Citadels, which is pretty good. Max range is 26.3 kilometers, so also really good. And secondary battery goes out to 7.5 kilometers. Now the secondary battery is pretty interesting. You have these smaller second dual purpose secondaries that we saw on Alsace and Jeanne d'Arc, but we also have quadruple, what I'm assuming is 6-inch guns. You have one in the front and two in the back. You pretty much have an entire Mikhail Kutuzov just as your secondaries, because they are high velocity armor piercing guns. And man, do these do a ton of damage. If you've seen some of my earlier videos where I use this ship, such as in events, you can see you get like 3,000 damage just on those three citadel or secondary turrets alone. And those are pretty continuous damage. They wreak havoc on cruisers, and they can do a good portion of damage against battleships as well. Speed is 30 knots. Now, you can equip a speed boost if you want, but you can also equip a main gunnery reload booster, which is one of three ships that can do it. One being Richelieu, the other being Jeanne d'Arc, and this being the only tech tree ship that you were able to equip it on. So it can be very fun. I use it versus the speed boost because you're already pretty fast. And honestly, I like having more shells downrange anyways. So that's the rate of fire thing that I like. And then she also carries an aircraft. You can see the stats here. She has 4 aircraft. And she has pretty good AA defense as well. If you look at here, pretty high damages, and the ranges are also pretty decent as well. However, France is not my favorite French battleship. That still goes to Jeanne d'Arc, mainly because Jeanne d'Arc has a better maneuverability. She may not have the rate of fire, the bigger guns, but France gets to the point where she feels kind of like a brick. Like, she's fast, but she doesn't turn very well, where Alsace and Jeanne d'Arc turn extremely well. And so she kind of like lumbers around, is just tossing her weight around. It doesn't mean she's bad. Also, the camo is pretty cool. I just realized a moment ago that the marking on the side actually looks like an Eiffel Tower. I didn't notice that before. Maybe you can see it better on the side. Yeah, a little. I like the red in the back, and I really like the blue at the front. But I don't like this little red and white stripe, but not like I can change any of that. Alright, so let's toss her into a game and see what we can do. Alright, here we have ourselves a game. 1 carrier, 3 battleships, 1 cruiser, and 2 destroyers. So, pretty small game, honestly. Well, let's see what we can do. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied at this time, so keep that in mind. Let's see, we have a Midway, Centurion, a Verdun, and a Monarch. So we got the British here. Those aren't exactly easy to citadel either, but the secondaries can do quite a bit of damage against Monarch. Alaska I can one-shot her or within 1 or 2 salvos, and the destroyers I'm not too worried about either. Also, a weird thing about this camo is your smoke is the color of the French flag. I can't really say I'm a fan of that, though it is an interesting thing. I think Charlemagne, the sister ship, also has a similar thing. But I don't have her yet, so we'll see. So we're just going to make our way here. Your gun angles, pretty, well, pretty moderate, I would say. This angle, if you obviously, again, shoot towards the nose, which gives you the flattest side of the ship and is also pretty weakly armored, you will get some good pens, and you have the ability to go through the middle of the ship and hit the citadel, or even just the turret barbette too. So obviously good way to shoot there, but if you, like I said, nose in, you have enough armor that you are relatively safe from, what's the word I'm looking for, overmatching shells. I don't think I've had the chance to use, well, I might have, but I can't recall any time, Super Yamato against the nose of a France. I know if you shoot the broadside of a France with Super Yamato, you get a lot of damage. But I don't know from the nose. But we'll see. So I don't really want to hit this G3 here. Though I think that's going to be impossible, the way it keeps maneuvering. Also, the size difference is impressive. So let's just get it in. I missed a shot to shoot their Monarch. Come on. Ridiculous. The bots in this game really need some work. They just hit islands and each other and just get in the way. It's really, really annoying. They're not even that good. Alright, so first salvo out. As you can see, pretty fast shells. However, I didn't give it enough lead because I haven't played the ship in a while. Pretty good damages though, for what little shells we did have hit. Let's try it again. We might need to use our reload booster as well, because if we get the midway out of the game, that helps our team immensely. Let's get reload booster. Immediately up and ready. Not enough lead again, unfortunately. But we did get a solid 13,500, 1,000. You know. Alright, so let's see what else we can do. I don't want to catch the torpedoes from the gearing, so let's... the Alaska Red Collar, there's lucky ship. Okay, so I'm trying to find a target that's going to give us broadside here. Looks like Verdun is going to... see if we can dodge these torps. Yep, we're okay. 33,000 damage with 8 pens and 1 ricochet. I'd say that's pretty good. Actually, you know what? Let's go secondary welders. Because why not? Though I guess we could take a pot shot at the Shimano, because having the destroyers out of the team helps us immensely, because like I said, we're a big battleship. We don't turn very easily. 6,000 damage should help that. I think I have a secondary skill on my captain, so my secondary range is actually a lot farther. You can actually secondary build this ship, and it would work for you relatively well. However, like I said, like my secondary is going up at like 8.8 kilometers. If you do use a secondary build of this, it would really work pretty good. However, it's only your 6-inch guns that are going to do a lot, or any kind of damage really. So let's focus secondaries on the Monarch here, because those are the ones that I feel will do the most damage to. And as you can see, the beginning of our armor test here. Gotta have, let's just go with any kind of ship we can hit, because if I get broadside to hit the Monarch with secondaries, my armor is going to go out the window pretty quickly. So let's shoot this Verdun. Maybe we can get some good stern hits. Not really, a bunch of ricochets. I'm not in the best position. But let's make it a chasing action and only use our front guns. That way our armor bounces pretty much every single shot that will be coming towards us. Probably could switch to high explosive. And I would, however there's an island in front of them, and they'll have to turn pretty soon. Or else run into the island. Which is also something they could probably do. Use our storm turret against the midway since it's still up. There we go, got it. And Monarch. I'm just gonna ricochet at that angle. I do have my reload booster. Wow, they really did hit the island. Okay, I still have my reload booster available. Now let's see what we can do against this Monarch, since we do have a broadside cannon. I'm just getting overpens. That's very disappointing, actually. So let's focus our secondaries on the Monarch. Let's go broadside a little bit right now, because once I finish the Monarch, it'd be a lot easier, which doesn't even have its guns facing towards me right now. And I only have a few turrets from the Verdun and Centurion to shoot me. Okay, so let's use our speed to reverse. I'm going to try and get over this. Oh, double citadel, awesome. But I can't get past the Monarch now. But we'll just let the secondaries go to town, because as you saw, I just got 3,000 damage from secondaries. 4,600 damage, from secondaries alone. If we go a little higher, we probably can... No, we can't go through that ship. And so secondary is going to work over a little bit more. As you can see, the smaller ones are not doing any kind of damage. Let's see, maybe we can hit the Centurion super section? Oh, a little bit, yeah. I'll take it. I'm really not in the best position right now. But I am letting the secondaries get a time. Alright, so let's get our guns on this side and start heading towards the right. I should be able to clear the wreck at this point. If we can ever start moving. Come on. Alright. Ooh, reload booster. Let's see if we can get her with the reload booster or the secondaries. And there we go. We finished her off. So not a very exciting game, but it was a good way to show all the different aspects of the ship. And we still were able to get 294,000 damage, 3 ships sunk, 111 shell hits, 10 aircraft shot down, 4 citadels, 1 fire, 1 module destroyed, 318 secondary hits for 6,300 base XP. So 243,000 damage was in armor-piercing shells, 13,001 was from fires that were caused by the smaller secondaries, which was only 1, and secondary battery themselves. High explosive did just a tad over 4,000 damage after 179 shell, and armor piercing did 33,000 damage after 139. So yeah, your secondaries are not that bad. Obviously there are ships like Illinois and H-42 that are going to be a little bit better, but this one's up in the top 3 at least in terms of secondaries. Also with fast guns, pretty big guns as well, good armor, good speed, relatively decent AA as well. This is a pretty powerful ship. And I feel like she's kind of underrated, or at least in what I think is. But yeah, she's a very, very powerful ship. She's a lot better than something like K2 or something. But regardless, that is it for this video. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe for further content. And join me tomorrow while we begin with the German battleship line with Nassau. So again, thank you for watching and take care.